Hi, tribe. Welcome back. Ty, the Manifestation Goddess here. If you're new here, welcome. And we are on day 2 of our Remembrance series. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out day 0 and day 1, as this is continuing to build on that information. And I am so happy you're back, and I'm so excited to share these downloads. So let's hop right into the lesson. Day 2 is going to be the 3D is the playground. It is not the source of creation. Again, the 3D is a playground. It is not the source of creation. And I repeat that because a lot of us tend to try to manifest or try to create in the 3D without accepting that creation is finished, which means in the 3D, there is nothing to create here. We are playing. In the 3D is where we are now having the experience in physical form. So where do we create? We create in the 4D. We're going to tap more into this later, but the 4D is creation. That's where, if we're looking at it as The Sims, we are making our selections on what we want to experience in the 3D. So think of the 4D as where you are now making all the selections, where everything is going to be finished. This is where everything is finished. And then you hop into the 3D, and now you're having the experience of what you selected in the 4D. So the 3D is the playground. So again, in the 3D, if I'm going to break it down to make it a little bit more simpler, but y'all know I'm all about quantum, so we're going to have fun here. We are here in the 3D to experience the creations that we already selected in the 4D, meaning that in the spiritual, in the quantum, internally, all of those things is still 4D. We just call it different things based on where you are in your journey, whether if you're looking at it from self-awareness, which is internally, if you're looking at it from the spiritual sense, which is on the spiritual realm, and if you're looking at on the quantum sense, which is 4D, that is where you are creating. Really, you're selecting. You're selecting what you desire to experience. You're doing all of this in the creation field, creation mode, which is 4D. And then when you come into the 3D, which is our physical form, our human form, how we are being expressed in this physical world, that is where you are now experiencing everything that you selected in the quantum. So everything that you selected internally, everything that you selected in the spiritual realm, you're having that experience in this physical body. This is where it's called the 3D. It's a reflection of what you already selected. So when we say creation is finished, because the 3D is reflecting what was already selected in the 3D. So what you selected in the quantum field, the 3D is simply a mirror of that. It's simply a reflection. But because our God self want to make it real, sometimes we choose to forget that we already selected these things. So we choose to forget that creation is finished, so that when we're in the physical world, the 3D world, we can really immerse ourselves in the full experience. But you have a choice. You can go in and out of states, and remember that you already selected these things. When you really play in the 3D, when you make it fun because you know that creation is finished, it will be much more enjoyable to you. Like challenges will be more of opportunities, more of lessons to grow, because you know the end. You know the creation is finished. You already selected what the end looks like. You know it. So whatever that desire is means that you already know how it works out. So when you have a desire, that's because creation is finished and you already selected the desire. The 3D is where all of these desires are unfolding. So enjoy it. Even when you come towards challenges, know that creation is finished. Keep your desire in the front of your mind. That will be your reminder that creation is finished. And also playing in the 3D, we're going to go back to the Easter egg theory. If you don't know what that is, go check out the other 2 videos. But you know, your Easter eggs are your manifestation, your synchronicities. Those little Easter eggs that you find in the 3D, your manifestations, the synchronicities, those are just simply clues that you placed in the 3D to remind you of your power, to remind you that creation is finished. So whenever you come across a synchronicity, a manifestation, those are your Easter eggs. Those are reminders to you to come back into awareness that creation is finished. You may notice that they pop up whenever you're in a state of, oh God, I want to answer, show me a sign. And then you get a sign because your God self is reminding you that creation is finished. So whenever you ask for a sign, that is a manifestation. So whenever you get the sign in the 3D, do not question it. It is truly a sign that creation is finished, and you left this clue, or you sent yourself this clue, and you found it in the 3D to remind yourself. So I want y'all to think about that. Every time you find a Easter egg, which is a synchronicity, your manifestation, know that it is a reminder from your God self that your desire is already finished. Your desire is already unfolding. So I want y'all to treat the 3D as a playground for your manifestations, for all your desires that you already selected internally, that you already selected on the quantum field, that you already selected spiritually. So when you look at 3D that way, you would have more fun. Count it all joy. You will start learning how to go from glory to glory because creation is finished and you know that. That is what I need to do. Embody the knowing creation is finished because you said so. You already selected all of this. You are here for the ride. But whenever you get caught up or hung up on the 3D, I want you to know because the 3D needs to be believable. Your God self, your all powerful God self, would have a very difficult time experiencing God as God if the 3D was not believable. That is how intricate you are as creating this game for yourself. You made it so believable that you forgot that you're God. But when you see your Easter eggs, those are your clues, those are your synchronicities, those are your manifestations to remind you you are God and you are here in the 3D simply to play. So if you ever need that reminder, you can go into pure consciousness. We're going to only tap on this because this is going to be later. It goes really deep. Going into pure consciousness awareness is simply zooming out as if you're in The Sims in creator mode. You zoom out and you're watching all of this unfolded, all of your selections to experience it in the 3D. You're watching you select it and you're watching you play it out in the 3D. So if you ever feel like the 3D is had you in the chokehold, zoom out and go into awareness, go into pure consciousness. And you can do that by practice meditation, practice nervous system regulation. But we're going to go deep into that. So I want y'all to know that 3D is not the creation field. 3D does not tell you what reality is. You've already told reality what reality is. You are simply here on the 3D to have the experience. So play. 3D is your playground. This is what all the great teachers talk about when they say you already have everything you need within to create the life you desire. This is what it means when it says be in the world, but not of the world. You are in 3D, but you're not of 3D. You're in 3D to play, but you're not of 3D. You didn't come here to create. And all of your manifestations, everything are just clues to remind you who you are as God. You created me as a manifestation. You created me as a sign. I am a Easter egg for you to help you get back to that remembrance, that knowing yourself as God, and you're only here to play. Enjoy it. You already have this knowledge. You just need to tap into that remembrance. Getting it? I know y'all getting it. So again, if you haven't already watched, go make sure you go watch the first two videos. The next video is going to be one of my favorite topics. So stay tuned. And remember, we do not entertain what we do not want to experience. You are a passenger princess to God. The 3D is being the passenger princess. God is the 4D, meaning God has already created it. And in the 3D, the passenger princess part, you are experiencing it. So enjoy it. And as always, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm free. Yahweh, bye.